Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we are going to be looking at an elite level club known as the Nord's Tenderizer. The Nord's Tenderizer kind of makes you think of Skyrim, doesn't it? Ah, yes, the Nords. The Nords of Skyrim. Skyrim is for the Nords! That's right. And the Nord's Tenderizer is a Truncheon, and it is 150 to 184 damage, which is actually pretty good for level 68. Could be better, but it's not bad. And we have really low requirements on this, with only 43 dex and 88 strength, which is relatively nothing, and a level requirement of level 68, which postures it basically toward the end of Nightmare, beginning of Hell difficulty. That's usually around when you get there. Let's consult my level area by levels here. So we're looking at level 68, which would be basically Act 1 Hell. That's about when you get to Act 1 Hell, and you're probably about to kill Andariel at that point, because usually you're skipping around doing whatever the hell you want to do. But if you play normally, and you level up normally, level 68 is about Act 1 Hell, and this will do you pretty well in Hell difficulty. It does have a very fast attack speed, and that is thanks to the fact that it is 25% enhanced attack speed. Very, very nice increased attack speed on that. It does have 330% enhanced damage, which is massive, but it does vary by a massive amount from 270 to 330%, which is a lot higher, I think, than some other variables, because what is that, 70, 80, 90, 100, so about 50%. We have a really massive bonus to attack rating as well of 180%, which is kind of insane, and it does vary from 150 to 180%, but it's such a high number that you will see a very nice bonus to your attack rating when you put on the weapon. Now, granted, because this is a mace class item, I'm also getting an attack rating bonus from the mace mastery, so to show you it without this, it would kind of be a little bit difficult, because when I take this off, not only am I losing the 180% from the weapon, I'm also losing the 200 and some odd percent from the mace mastery. In fact, to get a better idea, let me just go ahead and reset my character real quick, and I'll put in just enough strength so I can utilize the weapon. That way the mace mastery won't interfere with what we're looking at. So as you can see, I have 1,000 attack rating, and when I put the weapon on, I go to 2,800, which is a direct increase of 1,800 because of basically giving me almost double my attack rating, which is kind of insane, especially for a high-level character who needs a large amount of attack rating. And in combination with, like, for instance, attack rating charms, like +3 max damage, 20 attack rating charms, or maybe larger attack rating charms, like steel charms with faster hit recovery and things like that, you can multiply out your attack rating rather nicely with something like this. We also have a massive amount of cold damage on this particular weapon of 205 to 455. It's probably the highest amount of cold damage I think I've seen on any weapon. Maybe save a couple. Like, I want to say, like, Azure Wrath has a pretty high amount of cold damage. And trying to think off the top of my head anything else that's close. I know Baronair Star has cold damage, but it's not this high. And then we also have Frostwind. I think Frostwind has a decent amount of cold damage, but it's just a pretty massive amount of cold damage on this. 205 to 455 is pretty high. And then we also have, on top of that, a very nice freezes target of +2. Which does vary, by the way, from 2 to 4. So this one is actually not perfect. The freezes target can actually go up 2 more points. And on top of that, the cold damage on the weapon will help extend the duration of the freezes target on the weapon. On top of that, we also have a massive cold absorption. Now, the cold absorption does vary, unfortunately, from 5 to 15%. And if you were going to utilize this, socket it, put something nice in it to try and make it a better weapon, you definitely would want to find one that has better stats. So far, we have so many variables, it's kind of insane. We've got the enhanced damage variable by 50%. We've got the attack rating bonus variable from 150 to 180. We've got the freezes target variable from 2 to 4. And we've also got the cold absorption from 5 to 15. If you guys are unaware how cold absorption works, is basically any kind of absorption percentage is applied when the cold spell hits you. So let's take the damage on the weapon. We got 455 cold damage. So let's say somebody bonked us on the head for 455 cold damage. It would subtract 15% of that, which would be basically 68 damage, and we would only take 386. Then after the damage is applied to our health pool, and this is important, after the damage is applied to our health pool, we are healed for the same amount. So another 68 damage, which brings the damage down to 318. It is important to note, however, that if you do not have the HP to take the initial hit, the absorption will not save your life. So the absorption comes into play after you take the hit, and then it heals you afterwards. So if the initial hit is enough to kill you, then the absorption will not heal you, and you just die. We also have level 16 Blizzard charges on here, which is actually kind of high. Level 16 is a little high on Blizzard, and granted, it might not be able to kill very many monsters, but you know, if we were to go to like Stony Field and in Hell difficulty and find some fire immunes, it very well might kill a couple of these fire immunes. Of course, we're on we're on players 5. Yes, we're on players 5. Let's just verify that before we actually go murder something. It's only 12 charges, but you know, it's not bad. And, of course, I don't even have any HP because I didn't put any points into Vitality. No! I will blizzard you to death, you little blizzard suckers. That's right. Now, of course, if you did cast this on a sorceress who had synergies, you could actually get the full benefit of those synergies. It would still be stuck at level 18. Or 16, sorry. It would be stuck at level 16, but you could potentially get all the synergy bonuses for them while casting it, which really could be kind of an interesting thing if you were building something else, but you happen to build like every synergy for Blizzard, and you just wanted to cast Blizzard or something. I don't know. We also get the 50% enhanced on here because it is a mace, and that is off-weapon ED applied after the regular enhanced damage on the weapon. Now, this can also come in the ethereal form, and the ethereal form is 223 damage to 275, which is actually pretty nice. And it only requires 33 dex and 78 strength with a level requirement of 68. Now, as far as weapons goes, honestly, this weapon's actually kind of nice. And I've always looked at these weapons, this particular weapon, with a little bit of awe, because it really is quite an interesting choice. The freezes target effect combined with a lot of the other things going on with this particular weapon do make it very interesting as a weapon choice. And if you were building Mace Mastery, for instance, you had your points in, maybe you were running Frenzy or something. Let's go ahead and run Frenzy. Why not? We'll grab Double Swing and we'll grab a Taunt. Max out our Frenzy damage as much as possible. And we even get the magic damage. Why not? Let's do the magic damage too. Because this is an elemental damage weapon. Why not do some elemental damage? And then let's grab our shouts. And we're going to frenzy some stuff with these Nord's Tenderizers. Why not? We need something that's not cold immune. Let's go to River of Flame. I will tenderize all the Nords. As you can see, the freezes target effects pretty much lock down a target, especially when using Frenzy. It pretty much makes it so the targets can't run away. And of course, the cold damage isn't going to be very useful on monsters that are cold immune. So for instance, in this scenario, I'm surrounded by grotesque worms, but as you can see, I'm not having too much of an issue burning through some of them. I don't have any lifesteal on this guy, do I? I just realized I don't have any lifesteal. Goodbye, crew of the world. Oh, save and exit cheat. Save and exit cheat, boys. You guys are going to hate me for this one, but if you've ever used the save and exit cheat to keep your character from dying in hardcore, you have essentially died. Like this is something that I've always felt very strongly about. If you have ever found yourself in a situation where you had no way out, where there was no way to save your character other than save and exit, and you saved and exited, and you saved your hardcore character in this manner, your character's dead. Like, he may not actually be dead because you used the cheat to save him, but he's dead. So, Nord's Tenderizer can be a very interesting weapon for, like, Zeal Paladins, Frenzy Barbarians. We could probably get good use of that on a couple of characters. You could maybe team it up with a Frost Wind for even more freezes target. I don't know. Definitely, you would want one that has the higher freezes target. I think that would be one of the better modifiers on this particular item, because if you're going for this item, freezes target is definitely very useful, especially as a melee character, because you're in the thick of it. You're getting, beat up by all these monsters, and you're freezing them. And it's hard for the monsters to fight back against you because, well, they're cold and they're frozen. And you could tag this along with other types of cold damage. You could really stack on the cold damage even higher if you wanted to. Now, one of the big issues, though, with cold damage is there's a lot of cold immunes in Hell difficulty. And there are also monsters that can't be frozen. Like, for instance, some of the Death Lords are immune to freezing effects, which can be a detriment if you're trying to use this particular kind of item. All in all, though, Nord's Tenderizer is a very nice weapon, and if you found it early on in your playthrough, maybe solo self-found or an early ladder run, it could definitely do you good on a character for a while until you end up with something better. It can really work very well in Hell difficulty, even as just a melee weapon. They're doing physical damage, and the additional cold damage on it is certainly nice. And the bonus attack rating, I think, is really kind of like the biggest thing here, because it really does just beef up your attack rating so very much. And the more attack rating that you get, the easier time you're going to have in Hell difficulty, because all the monsters have massive amounts of defense, and they're higher level than you, so there's probably also a penalty going on as far as attack rating is concerned, and things just, don't really go well if you don't have enough attack rating in Hell. Let's take a look over at Silas Pen real quick, and let's see where we could potentially find ourselves a Nord's Tenderizer if we want to get our hands on one, and, yeah. So, Nord's Tenderizer. I have a feeling this one might be a little odd because it's a lower tier elite item. It's basically at the bottom of the list. We're going to assume we have about 250% magic find. I feel that's fair for a level 68 item. And as you can see here, drop probabilities are not terrible. We've got 1 in 711 from Mephisto, 1 in 731 from Diablo in Hell. 1 in 738 from Bale in Hell, so pretty good drop probs. We've got Duriel Hell, 1 in 2,842, not bad. He's actually not terrible to farm in Hell difficulty, just he's not like a good option unless you can quest bug him, and quest bugging Duriel is kind of a pain in the butt. Blood Raven in Hell, 1 in 8,385, very easy to farm Blood Raven, extremely easy to farm Blood Raven in Hell. Griswold in Hell, a lot of people farm him. You know why? Because they go get the cow, the worst leg for the cow level. So that's actually a really good choice. You could do the cow level over and over again and kill Griswold. Or you could just simply do Tristram if you're a low level character just trying to level up. Kill Griswold and Blood Raven over and over again. It's actually not bad. Not a bad little combo there. Let's take a look at super uniques real quick. We've got the Cow King in Hell with a decent chance at 1 in 1,913. The Countess has a decent chance at 1 in 6,000. Fire Eye in the Palace Cellar level 3, 1 in 8,124. Those are all good options. Cold Crow in the Cave level 1. She's super easy to get to. She's always in Cave level 1, 1 in 8,147. Not too bad. And since that's Act 1 Hell difficulty, that's about where you would want to find it anyway. Bonebreaker, you could kill him while you're going to kill Blood Raven. He's always in the crypt by the chest. He's always by the chest. 1 in 8,203. So not a lot of bad options. Actually, looks like it would be pretty easy to find one. I've actually found quite a few Nord's Tenderizers in my time. They drop pretty commonly, and honestly, they're just good items to use for low-level melee characters that are working their way into Hell difficulty. Are you going to use it as an endgame level item? Probably not unless you're building a character around it. But that would be like a freezes target character, where you put like a Cham rune in the weapon, you get like an Ice Blink armor double upgraded, and maybe you throw on like any other kind of freezes target effects that you can get your hands on, so you could maximize the freezes target to the highest degree possible. And then you'd probably also add in cold damage charms and other things to increase the duration. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my video, even when we are playing Skyrim as a Nord, and for some reason we are tenderizing everything. And as always, keep on tenderizing. And play some Skyrim. It's a pretty good game.